There's a lot more to shooting a bow than just pulling it back, putting it towards the target, and letting go and hoping it hits. There's making the shot, off your fundamentals, your mechanics, pulling the bow back, right form, and actually completing the shot. It's not just, oh, let me hit this button and hit it. It's making your shot count, taking your time, slowing down. And that's what I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what the do's and don'ts of shooting a bow. Step one of shooting a bow is getting up on the line, getting your correct form. Get your body straight up and down, feet shoulder width apart, get your body squared up to the target. Next step is pulling air out of your quiver, knocking it on the string, putting it on the rest. Then the fun part begins, the middle aspect of it. Am I gonna hit the target? Am I gonna do good? Where's it gonna hit? Is everyone else looking at me? What's going on? The biggest thing is you got to focus all of that out. Let it all go out the window, focus on you, making the shot count, and hitting the target. Step two is judging how far your target is. Your target could be 20 yards, 5 yards to 60 yards. You gotta judge how far it is. On this demonstration, I'm shooting 20 yards at a Vegas 3-spot target, so I'm gonna set my sight to 20 yards. That's the foremost, biggest thing to do, first thing to do, because if you don't do that and it's a 45-yard target and you have your sight set on 25 yards from target before, you're a little bit SOL, because you can't change it once you pull the bow back. You just kind of got to go with it. So set your sight to what the distance is. Step three, shooting a bow, is hooking your release onto the string, which where you hook it to is the loop right here as it's shown. Alright, so you pull your bow back. First thing you do before you pull the bow back is stare at what you want to hit. Already get it in your mind. Pick your spot where you're going to hit. So when you pull back, you stare at that the entire time. You don't want to take your eye off what you want to hit. Step four is getting your anchor points. Put your kisser button in the corner of your mouth, string on the tip of your nose. That way you do the same thing every time. It's the essential part of shooting a bow is doing the exact same thing over time. It's what's called repetition. If you don't do that, you're screwed, because you're going to have all kinds of inconsistency hitting all over the target. So do the same thing every time. So pull back, put your kisser in the corner of your mouth, string on the tip of your nose. Step five, you've got the bow pulled back. You're looking through the peep sight. You're just looking through your peep sight at the target through your scope housing that has your pin in it, and 99% of the people out there will try to line that up with what they want to hit as it's bobbling around. Well, when you're trying to line it up and it's bobbling around, you're going to hit all over the place, because when you pull back, your mind is already wanting to line that pin up with what you're staring at from your previous step. So if you pull back through the peep sight, stare at what you want to hit, you will hit it every time. Because you're staring at what you want to hit, your brain is going to automatically try to line that up with what you're staring at. Like when you're driving down the road, you're holding the steering wheel and you look to the right, well, guess what? The steering wheel goes to the right, because your brain's automatically trying to line up with what you're staring at with what you're doing. So if you stare at what you want to hit, your pin can be completely off the target and still hit that spot. Step six, you got your bow pulled back, you're looking through the peep sight, staring at what you want to hit, doing the previous step to the T, and that's the fun part, making the shot. 90% of people get up there and they got those little triggers and they go BAM! And the wonder it goes left and right. Well, you're shaking, you're moving it back here. I shoot a back tension. So when I'm pulling like I'm going to elbow someone behind me. So I'm going boom, and breaking away. And you can see as my hand, I'm pulling back, my hand is rotating back, rotating back, rotating back. I'm not pulling it with my hand, I'm letting my back muscles do what's called a back tension. That's what it's supposed to do. So I'm making my shot count. I pull back, stare at what I hit, and start to pull, 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 boom. And I should never know when it goes off. Step seven, you're making your shot, boom. 90% of people, as soon as the shot goes off, they drop their arm. Guess what happens when you drop your arm? You shoot low. You got to keep your arm up to the head, that arrow hit the target. As you can see in the footage, when I shoot, my arm stays up. It doesn't drop, it stays up till here that arrow hits the target. You got to keep before and after the shot. Those are the 7 key parts of being a good archer, staying consistent, and making the shots count. If you don't do those 7, there's no point even shooting. There's a lot more that goes into it than just pulling a bow back and hoping it's a target. I hope you learned that in this film.